Do they know what the Gadsden flag is? It's a historical flag.
So the reason that they do not want the flag, the reason we do not want the flag to wave, is due to its origins with the slavery.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And slave trade. That is what was, that's the reason behind them not wanting the flag.
Dude, did you look in the fucking mirror, you stupid muppet?
I can have you speak to Jeff Yoakum again. Like I said, we're following district policy.
That's 100% a lie.
The last thing I want is him out of.
Colorado school kicks out student for wearing "Don't Tread on Me" flag patch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a absolutely hilarious story, and this video is about more than just this story. I'm going to tell you why we're focusing on the wrong kind of kids. And this is funny. This teacher, as you saw in the opening, "That flag's rooted in slavery. It's racist. Oh my God, it's slavery. It's racism." Well, first of all, the kid wearing the flag, or the patch, I should say, the Gadsden flag patch on his backpack, Jaden Rodriguez, ladies and gentlemen, Jaden Rodriguez, unless they're going to try to paint him as a white Latino like George Zimmerman. This is how ridiculous this is. This young man is squared away, neat, clean cut, very polite, and no, he's the problem. This is the problem, okay? So he got kicked out of school. We saw the video in the opening. This prompted Governor Jared Polis, the governor of Colorado, who is a Democrat, to come out and make the following statement on Twitter. "The Gadsden flag is a proud symbol of the American Revolution and an iconic warning to Britain or any government to not violate the liberties of Americans. It appears on popular American medallions and challenge coins through today, and Ben Franklin also adopted it to symbolize the union of the 13 colonies. It's a great teaching moment for a history lesson." That is wonderful. Now, here's the truth behind the Gadsden flag. It was intentionally designed not to convey a racist message, but a patriotic one. "The rattlesnake is found in no other quarter of the world besides America." This is written by Ben Franklin. "The rattlesnake also has sharp eyes and may therefore be esteemed an emblem of vigilance. 3. She never begins the attack, nor, when once engaged, ever surrenders. She is therefore an emblem of magnanimity and true courage. The rattle equals the number of colonies in America." That's it right there, folks. That's the meaning of the Gadsden flag. Slavery has no bearing on the Gadsden flag. None. Absolutely zero. And for this educator to draw that conclusion is a straw man of epic proportions, where the governor of Colorado comes out and makes a statement about it. And this kid, Jaden, that we're focusing on here, he's the bad guy, right? Jaden Rodriguez, ladies and gentlemen, diversity and inclusion. We can blame a 12-year-old named Jaden Rodriguez for white supremacy too, right? They reinstate it. He's fine. He can go back to the Vanguard school or Vanguard Academy where he's going to school now. But this is what I wanted to talk about here. We're focusing on Jaden, right? This is the problem. Why aren't we talking about this? What's wrong with this? Questions arise about Baltimore juvenile laws after preteen captured by cops more than a dozen times. An 11-year-old has stolen cars, been stealing cars repeatedly. An 11-year-old in Baltimore, Maryland. But you're not allowed to do anything about it because he's not white. Oh my God, you can't do anything. He's white. He's not white. You can't arrest him. In police documents obtained by WBFF, officers picked up the same group of kids several times, with many not facing charges. One specific 11-year-old was released to his family time and time again. He was picked up 13 times in connection with stolen cars since May 31st. This kid has stolen 13 different cars since May 31st. It is September 1st as of the time I'm shooting this video. He's 11 years old. This kid's going to be a doctor. This is a future doctor right here, folks. Scientist, like I said, going to go to Harvard, probably Princeton. But Jaden and his Gadsden flag, that's the problem. In one police report, An officer identified the 11-year-old car theft suspect who allegedly stole a Kia by damaging the car ignition using a USB device, a trend that has appeared in car thefts across the country recently. The officer noted the 11-year-old and several other known juvenile suspects are responsible for several vehicle thefts in Essex, Dundalk, and Baltimore City areas. Despite knowing about their alleged involvement in these crimes, the officer wrote the 11-year-old could not be charged due to Maryland law.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
But according to separate police report, the 11-year-old in question was a suspect in at least 17 previous car thefts, burglaries, robberies, and related offenses. 17, folks.
17 times.
17.
That's 17.
So, Jaden and his Gadsden flag patch are disruptive to class because of slavery that it has nothing to do with, while an 11-year-old is free to run rampant and steal 17 cars, burglarize things, but that's fine. He can't be charged. But we can remove an otherwise great student from a classroom. Do you see a problem here?
You can bullshit everybody else, but he ain't fooling me.
In another police report, a Baltimore County officer responded to a reported car break-in in Essex in early July. Several days later, it was revealed via surveillance footage that 3 juveniles were responsible for the break-in. Despite recognizing all 3 juveniles in the surveillance footage, including the 11-year-old car theft suspect from the previous police contact, the officer was unable to interview any of the suspects due to state law. No interviews can be completed due to Maryland juvenile law, the officer wrote in the report. One of the architects of the current juvenile justice laws is Democratic Senator Jill Carter of Baltimore City. At the start of the legislative season in January, as early criticism of the laws began, Carter defended the legislation.
You're a dumbass.
We still have the child in need of supervision, and I don't want to gloss over it like it's nothing. It's not nothing, Carter said. Carter didn't respond to a request for comment Friday from WBFF, but the initial story was reported Thursday. Carter wrote on social media about the child in need of supervision. The petition is a way for counseling or other wraparound services to be offered to parents who are dealing with children with behavioral concerns. Behavioral concerns. This fucking kid has stole 17 cars.
17 times.
We're focusing on the Jaden Rodriguez. He's bad. He's wrong. This kid can steal 17 cars, can't be charged with anything. What about this one? Suspect arrested after shooting at Choctaw High School football game. A shooting Friday night at Choctaw High School's football game against Dell City left 1 student dead and 4 other people injured. 3 people were shot, 2 others suffered injuries while trying to run away from the scene on Friday. One of the victims, a 16-year-old boy, died from his injuries. Family members identified the victim as Corday Carter, was a student at Midwest City High School. 42-year-old man shot in the chest, transported to a hospital. He spent most of the night in surgery. He remains in critical condition. So they've got a suspect. They've got a suspect in this shooting here, folks, in Choctaw High School at a football game. Oklahoma County Sheriff Tommy Johnson III said a 15-year-old suspect was arrested in connection with the shooting without incident. 15-year-old suspect. Choctaw Police Department officials said they knew who they were looking for since Saturday morning. As far as Choctaw Police knew, they're not looking for any other suspects. This kid's nickname was Bullet, folks. I'm not making this up. You can look it up. His nickname was Bullet. 15-year-old. They said it in one of the news reports, which is sick. So we've got Jaden getting kicked out of class wearing a Gadsden flag on his backpack. A patch, right? And props to him for it saying based on there as well. Jaden Rodriguez. Meanwhile, we've got an 11-year-old with 17 car thefts, can't be charged under state law. We've got a 15-year-old shooting people at a football game. These kids aren't the problem. A Gadsden flag is the problem here, folks. You see the disproportionate? This is very, very weird. We live in very odd times, and for this to be treated as such is fucking pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic. Jaden's back in school. We got a 15-year-old behind bars, and we've got an 11-year-old that they can't do anything with in Baltimore. So there you have it, folks. You've got a 12-year-old kid getting kicked out of class for wearing a Gadsden flag patch on his backpack, being treated quite ridiculously by a teacher who has the mental capacity of a shoe being thrown at George W. Bush. which, I mean, let's be honest, the Shoe and George W. Bush have about the same IQ anyway. I think the Shoe might be smarter. Anyway, and then we've got an 11-year-old who can't be charged after stealing 17 cars with a band of other rapscallions in Baltimore. And we've got the 15-year-old running around shooting people in Oklahoma. This, folks, this is fucking clown world. This is clown world. And like I said, if you're worried about a patch on a backpack and that's what offends you, you're an idiot. But if you're saying that this kid in Baltimore, he didn't do nothing, he's a good boy, he's going to grow up to be a doctor someday, then you've got a 15-year-old. Where did he learn this behavior? I wonder if that's going to be pulled off as white supremacy as well. Only time will tell, folks. Now it's your turn. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of all this insanity, this madness? All over a patch. All over a patch. But hey, Jaden Rodriguez, this guy is obviously a tool of white supremacy. Subscribe if you're so inclined. Ding the bell for notifications so you know when we go live for one of our 3 weekly live streams. 4 if you're a channel member. I'm Etep Wakuian from the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all these. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I will catch you on the next one.